make all the Paul Walker jokes and then extend this podcast to an ungodly hour.
Yep. We're great at Paul Walker jokes. All right. We ready, gentlemen?
He's dead, you know.
Yeah, we like to beat
He hit
that
a
dead
tree.
horse.
He was going too fast, but not furious enough. All right.
But the fans were furious afterward.
God damn it.
Hello, everybody. It is November 30th, 2018, and it's time for the VGBit Bitcast. It's episode 47, and we're coming to you live, not so live, from your internet connection right now. Guys, it's Friday.
Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
One day I will not say that, and then I won't have to hear the Friday song.
Today is not that day.
You didn't
That
hear
is
it
true.
last week?
We didn't hear it last week. We missed y'all last week. Last week we had a bit of a different thing going on. Last week, since it was Turkey Day in the middle of the week and everybody was taking a nice solid vacation and time off, TJ and I decided that we would do just a simple chit chat for a little bit and then run a one shot on for a D&D campaign. And if you missed it, you have missed out on a lot because, well, it was hilarious. I'm sorry. Anytime TJ does something, you absolutely know for a fact that he will screw it up.
Nice.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I need to go back and listen to it.
Let's just say the DM god was friendly, but go back and watch.
That's only because you couldn't erase him from the current situation.
Yeah, he just killed a character in his backstory intro. That would be great.
One could say I could have killed him 3 or 4 times over in his back, but the DM gods were kind and did not kill him. So go watch it. Even if you just watch the last portion of that podcast, it's funny. It's good. It's worth the watch. I promise. Especially if you like D&D, and then you can see all the things that I went through in creating a campaign for TJ in 20 minutes. So there you have it. But now that we're back into a real week of work and things and stuff in life and all the joy that comes with after holiday expansion of clothing, because everybody has to wear sweatpants because we've ate too much. Guys, how was your holiday break?
I was going to let Matt go because his mouth was open.
No, that's just how my face works.
You got a rule right there?
That's normal too. My Thanksgiving week was good. I had intended to make it to the podcast and completely forgot that it was Friday.
That's when you know it's a really good time, is you forget what day it is completely.
Dude, it was nice though. It was very relaxing, sitting at home, doing nothing, eating delicious food.
Mm-hmm.
Best holiday ever.
Yeah, it's the holiday of celebrating food.
It's my favorite holiday.
Well, Cody,
how about you, Cody?
I just before I get into my week, I just want to say 1 year we got to have ourselves a Thanksgiving together.
I will make all the desserts that your heart could desire. Trust me, I am wonderful at baking.
I will make a fruit salad and fruit punch because that's what I'm good at.
See, that makes me sad that he's good at baking because that's my thing too.
Oh, no way. Oh, we have a bake-off, Thanksgiving bake-off.
I'm okay with that. Double desserts.
What's your dessert of choice, Matt?
Dude, cobbler.
Ooh, I made an apple pie for Thanksgiving dessert. 4 different apples.
Ooh.
I used. It was amazing.
Getting fancy.
And then I did a traditional chocolate pie as well.
Nice.
My pie of choice is pumpkin.
Oh, of course. That's a traditional pumpkin pie.
Yep.
I also love me a solid pecan pie too.
Yeah, I could go for pecan.
I can't do pecans anymore. I used to eat pecans nonstop as a kid.
So you're telling me you pecant?
I can't eat pecans.
Oh.
Let's get that Eastern in
All
there.
right, see you
Pecan.
guys later. It's good being back for the podcast.
All right, thanks everybody for joining us for the VGBit Bitcast. This has been episode 47. No, I'm kidding.
God damn.
No, my issue was as a kid, and this is it's one of those whatchamacallit. It's unfounded at this day and age, but when I was a kid, I was eating pecans in the back of my grandma's Ford Mercury, or her Mercury, and me and Skid, we're passing a bag of pecans back and forth and just eating out of a bag to pick them up right off of the ground, because we had, and for my family, we had a ton of pecan trees around the house, and you just pick them up off the ground and eat them and go. And so did Skid. Well, somehow his pecans, I don't know if maybe they got a little bit of antifreeze on them, or maybe if it was a bad pecan, but I ate a couple of pecans and then I got real sick. Like, had to make my grandmother pull over as I jump out of the car sick.
Now, was it a pull down your pants before you explode, or just get out of the car before you explode?
No, it was, I vomited everywhere. It was like a
Gotcha.
sprinkler. I was just like, blah.
I'm sorry.
All over the place.
Can we step back to the somehow got antifreeze on it?
Well,
But yeah,
there-
I get it.
it's on a street, it's on a busy street, and his pecan tree was next to the edge of the road. So
It was probably more just like tons of exhaust fumes.
it could have, well, there was a puddle of antifreeze next to the tree when I went back to his house the next day. So I was like, I wonder if that was the cause.
Ah.
So
Gotcha.
this was when we were kids too. So
That explains a lot.
nevertheless, that moment scarred me for life. So I have never ate pecans again. I've absolutely refused. Now, if somebody tricks me and has them in like a cookie or in a cake, it doesn't bother me. But I will not go and pick up a pecan and eat it. Just because.
Okay. So you won't eat a pecan pie because there's pecans physically on top of it usually?
Yep.
Okay. I was all like, well, it's...
That pecan right there, it's like
I get it.
my nemesis. And I'm like, nope.
So what if we like blindfolded you and then fed you a bite of pecan pie? Could you eat it then because you're not seeing the pecans?
As long as you didn't tell me it was pecan pie.
Okay.
And you'd be like, hey, this is an almond pie. And I'll be like, the hell's an almond pie? And then you stuff it in my mouth and I'll be like, well, this tastes familiar. This tastes like pecan, you son of a bitch.
I was going to say, how are you going to feed someone pecan pie and have them not know what it is?
Well,
Like, I'm going to taste it. I'm going to know immediately that's pecan pie.
he was saying, if you trick him into it. And so I was wondering if it was like a visual recognition of it or if it was purely the taste.
It's off a taste. But like I said, if you like crumble it up in a cookie where there's other flavors, it's disguised. So it's kind of one of those things I'm like, it's okay.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Smell what you're stepping in.
That was my regurgitation story. Yay.
Reminds me,
Hi, internet.
we used to have we used to live in a big house, like 6,000 square feet. And we had big house. And we had a few rooms that my family just didn't use. So some college friends of my older brother and sister ended up renting some rooms out of our house at one point. And we had this Native American woman, super sweet, love her to death, made probably some of the best chili I have ever had. I had myself 2 full delicious helpings of that chili, And that night, I got the flu.
Ah,
I did not eat chili for like 6 years after that.
isn't it wonderful how the human brain works?
Yeah. My mom kept
No.
making chili and she was like, here, have some. I'm like, no, I don't want any. And eventually she wore me down and I tried it again. I was like, all right, this isn't so bad anymore. I can eat it again.
Let me scar you for life over this completely unrelated thing.
Yeah. But it was good chili. Like I would totally have it again now. Anyway, so my Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're talking about Thanksgiving.
My Thanksgiving was pretty good. I went and had Thanksgiving with Melissa and her family. And we ended up eating at their dining room table, which apparently in their entire time of living at that house and having that table, they had never once used. It was just like a purely decoration type table that they just had sitting in the dining room and they never used it. But a mix
Sounds about
between
right.
a mix between it being Thanksgiving and me being there. They were like, we'll have Thanksgiving at this table. So it was good.
It was weird for everyone because everyone's all like, "This feels awkward sitting in this room and eating. Where's my TV tray?"
No, Thanksgiving was good. Had plenty of turkey. Yams or sweet potatoes with brown sugar, and butter baked in the oven. Delicious. Yeah, it was a good time. I wasn't able to stay too long. I was there most of Thursday. Friday we went to IKEA. And Melissa said that she wanted my opinion on the things that she was buying, but I think really they just wanted me there as muscle.
Of course. Somebody got to pick up that flat pack.
Yeah, well, we ended up getting, I think, 2 tables, 2 entertainment centers, a desk, and 2 couches that we had to try and fit in 2 SUVs.
Woo.
And thanks to me and my Tetris skills, we were able to get all but one thing in every single car. The one thing we had to put on the roof, and a very kind gentleman that we actually ended up helping load stuff onto his and his wife's cart came over and helped us tie it down to make sure it wouldn't go anywhere.
I've noticed that about IKEA. Every time I've gone to IKEA and we buy something and then we're leaving, everybody that's loading up their vehicles is super cool and helpful with each other. And I'm like, if I met you anywhere else, you'd be all like, get out of my way, jerk. But because you're at IKEA, everybody's so mellow and calm and chill. They're just like, hey, do you need me to hold that box for you while you like readjust the thing? And I'm like, that would be great.
Well, it probably helped that we had to go get our car to bring to the parking spot to load everything into it. So while they were getting the car, they happened to be in the same aisle as we were picking out the couch, and they were getting the exact same couch. So I helped them load their stuff onto their carts, then they helped us load our stuff onto the carts, and then we left and checked out at the same time, and then ended up right next to each other. So I helped them load everything into their van.
Bonded over furniture.
Yep, because I helped them load everything into their van, he came over and helped me load everything into our car.
This is why people should own pickup trucks.
Or rent a moving van.
Pickup trucks. I'm a Texan. It's a pickup truck.
I mean, my dad's got an extended bed Chevy Silverado, and that thing comes in handy all the time.
Well, of course. It's a pickup truck.
Except we never use it but to move stuff or to drive in the snow.
I drive a Prius.
So does my mom.
He's all like, I need pickup. But I mean, I have a Chevy Silverado as well for backup.
There you go.
Oh, do you really?
When I need to haul something, that's when I go use the truck. But
it's a good man.
But no, it's Prius 99% of the time just because gas is expensive.
Oh yeah.
That's how it is for us now too. So how about your Thanksgiving, Daniel?
Oh, my Thanksgiving. I talked about my Thanksgiving last week, but I'll do a quick recap. My Thanksgiving, the girlfriend and I hosted Thanksgiving at our place. And when I say hosted, I mean she hosted it, and I did about everything I could to make sure I was helping and not getting in the way.
Yeah, sounds legit.
So, I was doing things like moving furniture and trying to set stuff up and then make stuff look pretty while she was doing some mass cooking. And I participated in some cooking as well. I made the mashed potatoes. It was
getting that arm workout, right?
Man, I tell you what, I have never made so many mashed potatoes in my life when coming to this situation.
Guys are so good at mashing potatoes. Why? I don't get
understand. Why? I bet your arm wasn't even tired afterward.
You're like, this is easy. I could do this all night. Oh, wait.
Wait, it feels better if I use the other hand.
Just trade off.
Yeah, just trade off when it gets tired.
Trade off. It's all right. That's how it works. We did the whole thing. Cooked a bird. We cooked cooked potatoes. Some other people, when the other members of her family came, they had brought stuff too, and I cooked the dessert. I cooked a very badass apple pie and a very badass chocolate pie, and they got some praises. So
go. Tell me more about this chocolate pie.
This chocolate pie. This is
It
is a refrigerator pie. But hold on.
An ice box.
Yeah, you can call it an ice box. But here's the thing. Made from scratch. I used 1.5 ounces of bittersweet chocolate melted and 1.5 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate melted and mixed together as my chocolate for the base of this pie. And I'm not talking the cheap ass shit. I went the full route. I creamed butter, like legit sticks of butter. See, I don't take shortcuts when I bake. When I bake, I buy the $22 vanilla extract because it's legitimately vanilla extract and not the fake shit. So
Matt looked like he was creaming some butter there.
I take my baking very seriously.
I'm not that serious.
Oh, I have to be. I have 3 different cookie recipes for chocolate chip cookies. So
I do the Sandra Lee semi-homemade version, where it's all like there's some boxes, but there's also some homemade stuff in there.
No, I'm straight homemade. I use 3 different flours for 3 different cookie types. You tell me what type of cookie you like, I can make you a cookie that will be
Guys,
perfect
I'm
for
store bought.
Ooh, no, I can't.
I'm store bought or gifted at this point.
Baking is my thing. That's what I used to do for many years. So
when I get to a point of being on my own, I intend to teach myself how to cook better and how to bake, because I've never really tried baking, but I have done some cooking. So
baking is more like science, whereas cooking is more like art.
Yes, I would agree 100%.
Because with baking, if you get your measurements slightly off, or if you, like in Daniel's case, if it says use like all-purpose flour, but you use like almond flour, it's going to come out completely different.
You might as well give up at that point and start over.
If you accidentally mess up and put a tablespoon of salt instead of a teaspoon of salt,
oh, okay.
It is ruined. that was hands down the saltiest pizza dough I had ever eaten in my life. It's okay. It was a mistake.
All right, Matt. Here. I've got something that'll make you feel better. This is in my past. This is long ago. I won't name names, mainly because I can't name names. But
TJ.
No.
Michael.
No, I mean it's nobody you know. Trust me on this. I won't name names. My parents came over for dinner, and there was going to be dinner. It was going to be cooked that night. I wasn't cooking dinner that evening. This other person was. And we had decided that we were making chicken fried steak.
Ooh.
And instead of using flour, for the dry dredge,
Uh-huh.
this person accidentally used confectionery flour or confectionery sugar, powdered
Okay,
sugar.
so powdered sugar. Gotcha. Okay.
That is like completely different ends of the spectrum.
I know. I wasn't the one cooking dinner that evening. So
That doesn't even fry.
here's what you get. You end up getting candied meat. There was a sheen of caramelized sugar across the cube steaks like you wouldn't believe. Because this person, after dredging, going through the wet stage, then going through the dry stage, well, the dry stage would evaporate immediately. Because it's powdered freaking sugar. It goes away when it becomes wet sugar.
It absorbed into the egg wash.
So the person kept going back and forth in the dry dredge.
This person hyper saturated the egg so that it was like candied egg.
It ended up, there wasn't a whole lot of the wet.
Okay.
More or less, it was more so going through trying to dry dredge to get the coating to stick on the dry.
Oh my God.
It just candied that meat. It was hilarious.
Okay.
What did it taste like?
Yeah,
Because you had to have tried it.
Oh
right?
yeah. Well, the thing is my parents or my dad, it was at the time, who had came over. I say my parents. My dad came over, and I ate it, and it tasted like sugary meat. I mean, it was just like you take a bite out of it, and you're like, "Well, this tastes like someone's caramelized sugar and poured it over meat."
It's a very strange combination. Did the meat at least cook properly?
Oh yeah, the meat was fine.
Okay, because I was like, I don't know if it would have cooked properly, or if it would have made like a candied shell around raw meat.
It didn't make a shell, but it made. Here's the weird thing: it didn't really make a hard crust, but it did caramelize the entire meat, and where you had
So
sections.
it's like the meat absorbed the sugar,
more or less, and you took a bite out of it, and you were like, okay, this tastes like powdered sugar steak. It was
so not like disgusting, just really strange.
Oh yeah. This is like it's candied meat, and I'm okay. Well, I'm gonna eat this because that's a thing a person does.
They suck it up.
Exactly, and
at least it wasn't burnt.
It was not burned, and it was an interesting dinner that evening. So
that reminds me of the time. I think my parents had gone to visit family in Texas and left me to watch the house. And so I got hungry one day and was like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to cook something good. So I looked up a recipe for chicken parmesan. Because I figured, how hard would it be to make chicken parmesan? Flour, egg wash, the meat, you bake it in the oven, right? That was pretty much my thought process. I had everything done, everything, set out for me to do. And I took the chicken and I threw it in the flour and I pulled it out and went, wait, I missed a step. So yeah. I threw it in the egg wash and then threw it back in the flour and then put it in the oven. Didn't work how I expected it to, but it kind of worked. I still had the kind of like breading on the outside and that sort of thing, and I was able to add the sauce and throw on the cheese, and it still tasted really good and it cooked just fine. But I screwed up the wash because I did it a step out of order.
It's easy to do. So easy to do. Oh. All the stories about all the cooking mishaps, they're out there. But we can digress. That was, I guess we can say that's a Thanksgiving. So now that the holidays are over and we are moving on to the next holiday coming up, Christmas time. December is literally 1 day away, 4 hours away, more or less. Yeah. And I am super excited. I love December. Even though I don't remember last December at all. I legitimately realized this today while I was staying at the house. I stopped and thought about it. I was like, I legitimately don't remember December or January last year. I remember November and I remember February quite well, but I don't remember January or December. I can't tell you what we did or what happened or anything. It's so weird.
Now that you mention it, I have to agree. Trying to think back, I remember November, had a bunch of different people over for Thanksgiving. Friends from New Jersey came over, Melissa came over, and we just had a big kind of like my family Thanksgiving with some friends. I don't remember December. I don't remember doing anything for Christmas. Like, I don't remember what presents I may have gotten, if any. That's wrong. I remember one present that I got. And there's a particular reason for that. But I don't remember much of December or January or...
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But this year is a whole new. It's a whole new ball game for me this year. So it's like you're starting over and hitting that refresh button on that browser and reloading the page, except now instead of they're talking about one sport on ESPN, they're talking about another sport. I don't know. I'm trying to make an analogy here for life, and it doesn't work.
That's a really bad analogy, but thank you.
The attempt was appreciated.
Yeah, I appreciate the attempt. Exactly.
I'm full of terrible analogies. Watch me work. Anyway.
That was like watching a car wreck.
One could say there was a need for less speed. No, we're not going to do it.
You almost walked into that one.
I know. I just... I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Son of a bitch.
Daniel's just
we've got to have more than 1 week consecutively without a joke like that. I love me some dark humor, and let me put this. I hope at one day that I am so popular that people can make fun of my death in this fashion.
Me too.
Because that means I would literally have made it in the world. But I will not do it today. I will behave today, and we will have 2 weeks back to back without one of those jokes. But I guess outside of that let's talk about video games. How about we talk about video games for a little bit?
All right.
Have we enjoyed any video games lately, gentlemen?
I'm sorry.
Have we enjoyed any video games lately?
Yes.
What?
I've enjoyed a couple, yes.
What video games have we been playing lately? Because Lord knows I haven't played a damn video game at all.
Well, I'll go first in that case.
Go ahead.
Happy and I have been making quite a good deal of progress in Mass Effect 2. And she is now almost as obsessed with the game as I am. She had made headcanon for her character, for her Shepard, and started stressing out that her headcanon wouldn't work out in the game.
Oh.
So, but all worked out just fine. So, we're probably halfway through that game.
Nice.
And she is super pumped to keep playing.
You guys gonna jump right into 3?
Actually, the plan that we haven't really announced to anybody, but is that we're basically going to play one of the DLCs of 2, and then close the game, reopen Mass Effect 3, and do the intro like nonstop in one stream.
Oh.
because
Ooh.
there's a DLC at the end of 2 that you can play that immediately transitions story-wise into the beginning of 3.
Is that the Cerberus one that you were telling me about?
That is a very generic term that applies to the entirety of Mass Effect 2, so you'll have to be a little more specific for me.
Well, when I picked up Mass Effect 2, you were telling me that there was a DLC that I had to buy, and I think it was called like the Cerberus DLC or something like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's a bundle that contains a lot of DLC.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Sorry, there's a specific individual one that you can play at any time during the game, but it is best played
At the end.
after you complete the story, and then you watch the credits, let the game load back in, and then you play that DLC after the credit, and then run immediately into Mass Effect 3.
Gotcha. Okay. That's pretty cool. I'm glad to hear that you guys have been having fun. Every time you go live, I jump in the stream to be like, all right, let's watch it. And then I remember I haven't played this one yet. I can't watch. So then I leave.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah. It happens so many times. Or then like I'll hop on Twitch to like on Thursdays when Critical Role comes on. I will open up my stream and you'll be there and I'll be like, oh, I can't watch this.
Ooh. We have door people.
And then after, in addition to Mass Effect 2, we've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is awesome. I say me, but
yeah, the Odyssey continues.
yes, and it is very good.
Sorry about that.
It's all good. And then in my downtime, as I've been trying to catch up on Critical Role, I've been playing World of Warcraft at the same time. And playing a new character type that I've never played before.
Ooh.
And I'm liking it a lot. A warlock.
All right. Was that inspired by anything?
Not directly, but it certainly helped.
Fair enough.
I won't deny that there was some like, yeah, all right. But I mean, I've always wanted to play a warlock in WoW, and I was bored with my high level characters. I was like, I want to start another one.
That's fair.
So I'm leveling one up.
I will say, warlocks have always appealed to me in World of Warcraft, and I had always wanted to play one, and mainly it was because of the books. I read the books and would read about Gul'dan and Cho'Gall, and I was like, I want to play a warlock like this. But WoW never really did warlocks like how they portrayed them in the actual lore.
One of the things you have to keep in mind is that almost every canon lore character is dual classed. So they're most of them are a combination of two different classes that players cannot play as. So like you can't play that style because you don't have access to these abilities. That's this other class over here. And I don't know, I'm sure it wasn't necessarily done intentionally, but I'm sure as they introduced additional characters after WoW came out, they were all like, yeah, let's make them a dual class like everybody else.
That makes sense.
But that's part of the reason why you can't do some of the stuff as one of the classes, because you'll find like this person's a priest, but for some reason they can cast fireball. And you're like, what? Priests can't do that. And they're like, fireball. Yeah, and they were like, well, this character is technically they're a mage priest, and you're all like, what?
Just wait for the next expansion, then they'll throw that in for you.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
Or you just play Hearthstone.
Or yeah, or just go play a World of Warcraft themed D&D.
True.
Which would be so much fun to play. Like, put that out there.
Shadowrun.
Ooh, I would like to play Shadowrun.
A sci-fi steampunk D&D. Come on.
Somebody would have to DM that besides me. I am not familiar with Shadowrun.
Neither am I.
There's a lot
I've
of dice with Shadowrun, apparently.
yeah. There's a lot more that can be done just because of all the science, all the technology that's in it.
It'd be like playing a Star Wars RPG.
Maybe, yeah. Like the only
uh,
Somebody.
yeah, I've been listening to a lot of different podcasts lately. One's a Shadowrun podcast, one's a Star Wars, the Old Republic, and then one is another version of Star Wars that I can't remember the name. As well as like D&D podcasts, and it's just really fascinating to hear all the different game systems that they have and like the way that they work and how basically D&D is like the only RPG that seems to use like the various types of die. Like all the other ones just revolve around like different kinds of D6s.
Mm.
Because Shadowrun, I don't believe uses D20 or any of the other types of polyhedral die. I think they just use D6. They might use a D20 for an occasional thing, but I think it's mainly just D6s. I know the Star Wars games also just use D. No, Star Wars: The Old Republic might actually use a D20. Let me correct myself on that. They have not explicitly said in the podcast. I just know that some of them are rolling like 30s, and they were like level 1. So
Got me. That's
yeah.
outside my realm of tabletop gaming knowledge.
But it's pretty cool. Anyway, you were gonna say, Matt?
I don't know. I forgot. I was gonna say something. I do remember that. I was gonna say the only we did a house rules Shadowrun game once that was it was D&D, but we just overlaid Shadowrun stuff over the top of D&D stuff. So we still used D20s and D12s because it was all like, well, your semi-automatic pistol is a D12 damage, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But the only other stuff I ever played that was Shadowrun was the SNES Shadowrun game that was super good.
Yeah, I think I actually own a Shadowrun game it's basically set up like Pillars of Eternity or Divinity.
That's the PC release. Yeah.
Oh, of that old game?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. There's a PC release that came out like 3 years ago that apparently the guy who developed Shadowrun, if I'm not mistaken, he sold the rights of Shadowrun to some other company, and he started a Kickstarter to buy the rights back so that he could make the games. And I could be completely wrong, but I think that's what happened. That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, it does to me too.
But yeah, he released a PC game, and then he came out with a couple of like expansions for that game.
Cool.
And I think they're making a new one, like part 2 kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that one more. Maybe if it's multiplayer, like Divinity is. For those of you listening to this audio podcast, Matt is smiling real big and he's slowly inching closer to the microphone.
I want to touch stuff.
You want to touch stuff?
We'll touch stuff.
Yeah.
Shadowrun Returns.
Yeah, that's the one.
Is only single player, so maybe the new one if that one comes out.
Okay. Man, now I got the Shadowrun music in my head from the SNES game.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
I had to do a quick look up on it, and now I remember because every time I would go to the rental store for video games, I would look at it and go, "I don't know what that is," and then walk by it and keep going.
Yeah, it's actually the SNES game uses the main character from that game is apparently a main character from a bunch of the books, and they put him in the new game as well as like a side character that's not really super important, but they just put him in there as kind of a shout out to the old guy. Jake Armitage.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't see anything else about the Shadowrun game, so maybe there's not much published about it, at least on Steam. I haven't Googled it yet, but something to keep the eye out on. Sure, that's a phrase.
Indeed.
Mm. While we're talking about D&D and D&D related things and such, why don't we just do a quick little advertisement here, gentlemen? Because episode 1 of Attacking the Darkness will be coming out. If you are watching this right now, then it is Sunday, December 2nd. It'll be coming out Wednesday, December 5th. If it's already past December 5th, then it's already out, and you probably should have already watched it. But I digress. Here is how the release schedule is going to work for Attacking the Darkness. Because we cannot record this on a weekly basis, we are recording this every other week. So therefore, you will be getting episodes every other week on Wednesdays. So, Wednesday, December 5th, you get Attacking the Darkness. Then, the 12th, I'm afraid you will not get any Attacking the Darkness. But on the 19th, you will get episode 2 of Attacking the Darkness. And so on and so forth. Look forward to episode 1. I have no control over these people anymore already. We'll just leave it at that for episode 1. You people are crazy.
He's saying he doesn't have control over us.
I do not have control.
I got it. Sorry.
I do not. As the DM,
I thought you were commenting on us now. I didn't.
No. I was talking about I was hyping the show.
Yes,
trying to get people excited.
Gets very crazy very quick.
For being the god of this realm, you sure don't have control.
No, I do not. And that is pretty much to be expected when I have TJ and Cody and Matt all in a D&D session.
Oh god, the sort of crazy things that I cannot wait to try and do.
Sadness for the DM. Everybody pity. No. So, December 5th, coming soon. Check it out. It will, I promise, you will enjoy. You will enjoy it. I promise. So
you will enjoy it. It starts off strong and just keeps on pumping.
It continues to stay strong for forever.
Yep.
We have not had a down minute yet, so. And we're recording a new episode 2 tomorrow, so.
Yeah.
Be ready, gentlemen.
Oh, you be ready, DM.
As long as you don't screw it up, we'll get through this module at some point in the future.
That's my specialty.
And there's a lot of good ways to screw it up, too. I have been reading. So, I'm excited. I literally am excited about this module. It's so good because I read ahead and I look at this and I go, here's where they're going to kill us. Here's where they're going to team wipe. Here's where they're going to team wipe. Here's where they're going to team wipe.
Next time we do it, I'm going to get a sticky note so I can put it over Drillian's camera. Because last time he held the book up and I was like, I don't want to see the book. Don't show me the book.
Oh, that was completely different. That was just just a picture of the bartender.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't want to see that.
He wants to have his imagination filled with my words.
I gotcha. All right, I won't do anything like that.
He wants to see it in his brain because he can experience it because I am a storyteller. Not that good of a storyteller, but I try.
I tend to be much more visually based, so I did that for the visual people out there.
That's fair.
I look forward to recording tomorrow, so there is our little advertisement about our wonderful show Attacking the Darkness. I hope everybody is going to continue to enjoy the show because we are having fun putting it on. Let's move on from video games, guys, and let's talk about some news. No, Cody, what have you played? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. I had completely forgotten about it. I liked Rabbit Trail so much. All I've really touched is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yep. You've
been using Google Stream on that too.
Yes, Google's Project Stream, because it allows me to play the game for free at any place that I want that has internet connection, which is super convenient, and it's really nice because it's actually pretty solid. I'm excited for this service to come out, and I would like to see what they offer with it. Like if it's a free service, a paid monthly service, or like you get during this month you can get this one game for free, or you can pay to have like all these other games for free, like just to see what they do.
This is my sneaking suspicion with Google. Google will stick like half their foot into the water and say, yeah, we can do that, and then bail. So I don't think that they're going to do anything with it, but I think what they're doing is trying to see if the technology works for the future.
It definitely works because 99% of the time, I completely forget that I'm playing a streamed game.
Really?
Yes.
That's so interesting. If you had to consider Parsec versus Google Stream.
Google Stream all the way.
Really?
I
much better.
I noticed. I have experienced zero latency while playing this game. The only thing that I've noticed is occasionally, if my connection for whatever reason drops just slightly, the quality of the image deteriorates. It looks as if it's a lower bit rate. But then after a few moments, it generally kicks right back into the, 1920 by 1080. The game looks beautiful. I hardly notice that it's not playing locally on my system.
That's so fascinating.
And it plays flawlessly. I mean, like I have no input lag between key presses. I can't blame the game for lagging. Whenever I die, it's strictly my own fault. Or the game deciding to send 6 bounty hunters at me at the same time. I'll get into that. But yeah, it's beautiful. Whatever they're doing, however they have it set up, they said that you could play it at Starbucks without any trouble, and I absolutely believe it.
Man. Streaming tech.
It's incredible.
I've always been one to say that it would never happen because it requires too much internet infrastructure to be decent. And with the way that the FCC is slapping down net neutrality and companies' reluctancy to upgrade their existing lines and their capabilities to make faster speeds available to more people, I've always been one to say that this was never going to happen. But if Google has some sort of monster compression that they can pop out and deconvert to where on your end it looks beautiful and there is no lag, I may have to shut up.
Yeah. They're doing something good here. They've got a good system, and I feel like it's bringing us a step closer to my doomsday prophecy.
True.
But I almost trust Google with it.
Google has that friendly face of we're free, everybody likes us. Google's damn dangerous, but for some reason we still just trust Google, and I don't understand that because I'm not going to change. I'm always going to continue using Google.
Yeah, they're very dangerous, but I think out of all the companies that have similar technology, it feels like Google has a better sense of responsibility to it. Because like when you go and look at other companies like Microsoft or Ubisoft or EA or any of those that are developing games and trying to come up with this technology, they want money. Google has money. That's not going anywhere for Google. Google is just like, let's try this. Let's play with this toy.
They're like Steam.
I kind of live by there's a similar saying that I'll kind of modify for this, which is better doesn't mean good. They may be doing everything better than everybody else out there, but that doesn't mean they're still good at it. It just means they suck less.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I mean, I'm like everybody else, basically, which is like, am I going to switch off of YouTube? No. Am I going to stop using Gmail? No. I'm still going to put all my stuff into I'm still going to buy Android phones and sync them up with my Google account because it's so easy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's should you be cautious around all the stuff that they do? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't just assume they've got your best interest in heart, because their best interest is money, not you. But I'm not going to argue the fact that they're doing it better than everyone else out there.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, all in all, I've been enjoying Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I was talking with Matt about this a little bit beforehand. I do need to redact or retract a statement that I had made previously, in that the side quests were garbage. I have come to understand it's not the side quests that are necessarily garbage. It's the message board repeatable timed quests that are garbage, which I thought were side quests, because when I started the game, I rarely ever saw anyone with the way they differentiate that is they give you like a golden exclamation point on your map to go to. Rarely saw those. All I ever found were the side quests on the message boards, and I thought that they were just trash. But the actual side quests in the game that are not the main quest have a story, have character involvement, and are actually pretty good, and they have a good reason for it.
Yeah. The ones that you get off the message board are primarily for farming money or materials. Because a lot of them are all like, you're going to get a bunch of experience and gold for doing this, and it's a really boring side quest that you run over here and kill this dude. And that's all well. Now, I will say the one thing that I do like is I always go to the message boards and pick up all the quests, because some of the quests are not timed, and some of those non-timed quests are considered long-form quests. They're quests that you don't actively pursue, but the quest will be like, clear 15 caves.
Oh.
But when you finish that quest, you'll get like $50,000 and like 150,000 experience. And there was a time where I was running around and I cleared like 4 or 5 of these long form style quests in the matter of like 15 minutes. And I leveled twice in 15 minutes.
Wow.
And I was all like, whoa, I gotta keep up with these. And I mean, towards the end of the, like, I'm sure at the end of the game when you're level 50 and you have the whole map exposed, you can go back and look at those and be all like, what do I need to do to finish this one out? Oh yeah, I gotta do like 2 more of these things. And you can go and pick and choose where they are. But if you're doing it as you're just randomly progressing through the game, you'll just kill somebody and it'll be like, massive quest completed. And you'll be like, sick, I just got a buttload of experience.
I am going to have to go do that now, because I've just been avoiding the statues of Hermes. I'm just like, these are garbage. I don't want to do any of them. They're a waste of my time. I'm just not going to pick them up.
I don't even look. I just go over to one, hit E, go select, just pick them all up and then run off. I don't even read them or nothing. That's because fair. The timed ones that are all crappy will auto expire in 24 hours. And then the really good ones aren't timed. And then I just ignore them and they'll complete on their own.
There is one thing that I just thought about that I would like to mention. Project Stream was a little slow on updating the game.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So like when the game update came out on a Tuesday, you may not have seen it until like Wednesday or something?
So it's been at least a week before this one that I have played the game, but you know how you got the update that allowed you to autocraft arrows?
Yeah.
I did not see that implemented in the game until this week when I started playing again. So it could have been implemented like last week or the week before that when I wasn't really playing the game, but it took them a while to get that brought in.
Yeah, it's probably what they have to do is they've probably got a virtual environment set up. With my experience in IT, what you would normally do in a situation like that where you'd have to have multiple servers that are all perfectly identical is you would have like a golden master image that represented all the servers look just like this. And so they'd have to go and they'd have to update that golden master image, download the updates from Ubisoft, save it, export that golden master image to all the servers, and then at the same time, they'd have to, well, that would all have to be done. But then step 2 is at the same time, they'd have to reboot every single server at the same time. Because you can't have half your servers up with a new update and half not. So all of them would have to go down for like a 20-minute maintenance period and reboot. So they were probably waiting until they could figure out when's a good downtime for this.
That's fair. But yeah, I finally got that, so that was nice. And then my one qualm that I have with the game right now that I told Matt I would bring up once the podcast started. I was in the middle of a story mission that involved me fighting a boss. And this boss had 2 cronies with him, 2 lackeys. And one of them had a shield and a spear. The other one had daggers and like danced around me. And I hate these enemies that have these unlimited powerful attacks that they just sit there and like spin and dance around you, no problem. But you can't do that. In the middle of fighting them, those guys, the cronies, killed me probably twice. Finally, I was able to wipe them both out, and then I started focusing on the boss. In the middle of fighting the boss, finally just starting to hit him, I hear the trumpet sound for the stupid mercenaries, the bounty hunters that come after you when you have a wanted level. One comes running up and kills me, and he starts shooting fire arrows at me, and I die. That happens 3 more times before he hits the boss, and the boss and him start fighting. So I run away and just watch. And then I killed the mercenary, started going after the boss, and then I hear brr, brr, and another one comes into the playing field.
That's the one thing that I wish would happen is if they called a bounty hunter or whatever they call them, the mercenaries that are hunting you down, if you killed them, killing the mercenary that's hunting you should reduce your wanted level.
Yes.
But it doesn't.
You're right.
So periodically you'll have like a level 1 wanted level and like a good chunk towards level 2. So it's going to take a really long time for that wanted level to go down. And you'll kill the bounty hunter, and literally like 2 minutes later another one will show up. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm here for the exact same bounty. And you're like, no, there needs to be some way. Now, I mean, you can go kill the guy who's put the bounty on your head.
That's so tedious.
But yeah, they're never anywhere near you. They're always on the clear other side of the map.
I went to go do that, and the guy disappeared once I got there.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I've never had him disappear on me, but you know what's really great is when you go and kill the leader of a zone, but you end up killing him in the middle of the town. Because you're instantly my wanted level went from nothing to 4. And like all these bounty hunters came from everywhere and was like, when I just took off running, I was like, nope, I'm out.
I was at the Temple of Aphrodite and was just picking up some of the treasure chests around when all of a sudden I hear burr, burr, and so I start fighting him, and then the guards come after me. I've got like 2 captains and then like 2 of the like lesser captains, and then all of a sudden I hear burr, burr, and there's another bounty hunter, and then burr, burr, and then another bounty hunter. By the time I was done, I had like 4 captains on me and 4 bounty hunters all chasing me. I was like, I'm done. I'm out of here. On top of that, I attracted a leader with all of his elite guard.
Yeah, it can get a little crazy.
I cannot
deal
with that.
Regardless of all that, love the game.
It's a very good game. It's very fun.
Sorry, Daniel's over there bored off his ass.
I'm just listening to everybody enjoying video games, which is what this is all about. I just wish I had time to play video games. My life is super busy. Mm-hmm. One day I will play a video game again. One day I will get to play Red Dead Redemption again.
I want to play that so bad. I want them to bring it to PC.
2019, buddy. Coming soon.
Wait, are they actually? Was that confirmed?
No, but it's coming soon. There's been more and more slight leaks out there of this happening. You know, they've got to establish the game. Then they've got to establish online, which, boy, online sounds like a fire pit at the moment. But once I get that all ready and done and finished, things will go. It'll be good.
Speaking of online as a fire pit, I had a buddy who found a good way to make money online, like some place to make money. And he decided, oh, I should be kind and post this on Reddit.
Oh, no.
And within minutes, he had people going to that spot and killing him so that way they could have the spot to make the money. I don't know how they make money. I don't know if it's just like killing things and collecting like resources or, camping a chest or something. I don't know what it is. But he started to just get demolished by the people who loved him.
It's like the
sharing that.
Destiny loot cave all over again.
Yep. Yes,
Destiny. I hate that game. I do. It's a bad game. The only thing good about it is its shooting mechanics. Anyway, anything else you've been playing, Cody? Or anything else going on?
I played another session of D&D with my niece, coworker's son, and a couple of friends. I actually added 2 more people to it.
Did they kill the goblin fort?
Yes.
Woo!
They to bring in the other 2 people, I had them as captives in the goblin cave. And so after they beat the fort, they went into the cave and then freed them and then killed all the goblins. And then that was our 3-hour session.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Goblin Slayers.
They
Player number 4, can I have you come join at the table, please?
Yeah, they basically fought the goblins and then deliberated what they wanted to do and decided that they needed to deliver the goods to town before they pursued the quest line. So we just left off at town. And right now I am frantically, and by frantically I mean procrastinatingly, trying to populate the town with buildings and town names and people for them to talk to.
You just make it up as you go along. Then you write down the person's name, and then you got it there for later.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how I plan on handling it.
Good luck with that.
Charles.
Hey.
He's my favorite.
I can't make up any story beat. I can't tell any story beats yet. That's wrong. Don't be doing that. Because I so desperately want to sit there and talk about that. We'll have to wait until it comes out.
Oh.
Yeah. No sneak peeks on this. There are
That's
none.
Right. That's all I remember.
Pardon me. I write books, you know.
Working on it.
Let's see. Well, okay. So for my side, I've done a lot of I've done a lot of TV watching lately. Mainly it's because it's like this past week I've legitimately gotten home 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And it's because I've either had to come over to a second location or come over to the studio and take care of a few things here and then go home, or I had to go somewhere else and then go home. So I've only really had an opportunity to watch TV and not play video games. And kind of one of the things that I've been watching recently, is one, football.
Football.
Go Cowboys. Nobody on the internet, or at least in this circle, is going to be like, football? What's the football? I'm sorry, but I'm a Cowboy fan. Go Cowboys. That was a great game. That was a great game last night.
The only football team I vote for is the Orioles.
The only football team you vote for is the Orioles. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay, here we go. Other than that, I've been watching. I'm super late to the party on this, but I've been watching Superstore. Have you all seen Superstore before? The TV series. It's about a Walmart-esque store, and it's a comedy with retail behind it. And I've been watching it, and all I can sit there and do is go hit my microphone. But I'm like, that happens very much in real life. That happens very much in real life. That happens very much in real life. I like this show. Because all the things that they put into this and the characters that they have created, I'm just sitting there going, uh-huh. Yep. I've seen all of these people before. So I've been watching that, and then of course Oak Island again. The new season's come out. These guys never find anything in Nova Scotia. You give me a weird look, but it's the island that supposedly has buried treasure on it that people have been trying to find for like hundreds of years.
Interesting.
There's been like a giant pit apparently that was dug down in the middle. And I've explained this before, but they dug a giant pit, and then supposedly they hid some. From the people who own the island now, you can say it's either Shakespeare's original works, you can say it is the Ark of the Covenant, you could say it is gold and jewels and doubloons from Spanish or English, or stuff from the Crusades or Vikings. I mean, they keep going.
Interesting.
But every time these people find something, it's, okay, let me take that back. Every time they think they find something, all they have found is wood. It's wood. It's old, rotted wood. They're like, look, this is wood. We found something down here. Because they're drilling holes in the ground and coring the earth and bringing up samples. So they'll core it and bring it up and say, look, I found wood. And we're like, all right. And then, I swear, every single one of these guys will take the wood and smell it. Because they're like, it smells old and rotted. And then they go, we've got to take this wood to the old man of the island. Because there's an old guy that lives on the island. Looks like he's in his 90s. Looks like he's about to kick the bucket. And he's a guy that's been like digging on this island did for 50 or 60 years, and then he retired and just lives on it now. So they take the wood to him and they hand it to him. They're like, look, his name is David Blankenship. And he's like, look, we found wood. And the old man takes the wood and he smells the wood and goes, oh yeah, that's old wood right there.
I haven't seen that in years.
That's every episode, so I still watch it just because it's fun to make fun of.
Absolutely.
My girlfriend and I literally make fun of this thing every time it comes on.
I used to do that with Ghost Hunters, I think.
Oh, I remember Ghost Hunters.
Ghost Adventures. It was the one
I hate
with,
it. With the frat boys.
Yeah.
It was the Abercrombie and Fitch squad.
Yeah.
It was the guys that would go into places and be like, we heard that the ghost is in here, get really mad. Come out, stupid ghost, show me something. Come on.
Come fight me, bro.
And you're just like, oh my God, this guy is retarded.
Yep.
Travel Channel specialty right there.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Used to watch those all the time. Good for history, though.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
So
many people died in this place, and that's what made all the ghosts.
What? Yo!
This island
Whoa,
off the
that
coast
ghost!
of Italy, man. This is where they quarantined all the plague victims. Now everyone's really angry. Ghosts!
They're all dead. Don't throw that board at me. Whoa, man, did you see that? I hated that.
Oh, look, an orb.
I hated Ghost Adventures. I liked Ghost Hunters. That was on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Mm-hmm.
That was amusing. Poor Matt. Matt's like, why are we talking about this?
Daniel, you might appreciate. I recently watched the entire series so far that is released of the 7 Deadly Sins.
Oh, nice.
The second season?
3rd season.
Well,
2nd season was like 4 episodes long.
yeah. I liked the first season. We got about 4 episodes into the next complete season, whatever they call it. And we stopped watching because we completely lost interest because everything got really, really weird.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've only watched the first season, which was the good
The first season was great. The first, we gave up after like the first 3 or 4 episodes of the next season. And we were just like, yeah, I'm not feeling this. We'll consider the end of season 1 the end of the story for us, and we're happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm right there
Well,
with you.
I can agree with that because season 2 or 3, however you want to put it, definitely does start off really weird, and it gets very anime tropey, like very DBZ.
Oh boy.
I could tell because like in the first episode of the next season, they were all like, here's this little gem you can put in your ear, and now everybody has power levels.
Yep.
Oh,
And I was
See
all
what
like,
their power
oh
levels are.
my god.
And it's like, oh,
He's
his power
over
level is
9,000.
this. Yep.
And
I was
just
waiting
like,
for that joke, and they never made it.
I was just like, this is so crappy because now it's just like, and of course, every time it's all like, this bad guy has a higher power level than anybody on our team. How are we ever gonna beat him?
Oh, well, I better stop holding back. Oh, his power level is higher now.
Boo!
Oh, I'm so glad I never moved on from the first season now.
I will say, though, having completed it, the story does develop and become a little bit more interesting.
I think
in some of the developments.
what I'll probably do is look up like a season synopsis and just read it rather than watch.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Because then I can get the story and be all like, that sounds really good. And I won't have to watch all the like, hot for like 10 minutes. They stand across the field from each other and scream.
Yeah, and then one of them gets beaten to a pulp and then gets back up and suddenly is just fine and then beats the other guy to a pulp and then...
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about anime, I'm going to just go ahead and branch over into some of the news section. There is a live-action Cowboy Bebop that's coming to Netflix.
What?
Yeah.
I want this so bad, and I never knew I wanted it.
It is. I don't think they have an announcement on when it will be released on Netflix. It's just going to happen.
I don't think they've announced any cast or crew yet.
They have not.
It's not going to be the same without Spike's actual voice actor, though.
I tell you what, if they do a decent job at casting, and it's going to be really hard to cast for this show, mainly because this is one of those. Now, if you don't follow anime, Cowboy Bebop is one of those animes that was put on a pedestal and then people stared at it from the bottom up and just be like, this is the greatest thing ever. Because it was so well written that it was amazing. But when you go and create a live action series, I am concerned.
Yeah.
I hope it will be good, but nonetheless, we'll have to see how things pan out because, boy howdy, were people mad about Ghost in the Shell when they had the live action of Ghost in the Shell.
They whitewashed it.
Exactly.
Is that on Netflix? Can I watch that?
You know what's really sad about that argument though is the people that say they whitewashed it are actually a little confused because in the actual anime there are no white people, there are no Asian people, there are no black people. It is just one solid race. Everyone is the same race in the anime because the world had gotten to this point that everybody interbred to where it just became this homogenous human race. And so they're like, you should have cast an Asian lady. And I'm like, that wouldn't have made any sense either. But
you gotta stay true to the original.
Oh, so this is where it gets dangerous.
yeah.
So,
Change subject.
no, here's hoping that it actually becomes it is a good show because actually I miss Cowboy Bebop and it wouldn't hurt my feelings to watch the show itself. So
I'm cautiously optimistic for the Witcher series.
that is another one that is dangerous because of the video game to TV conversion.
Yeah, the Superman guy, whatever his name is, Henry
Cavill? Cavill or something like that.
Yeah, he's playing Geralt.
You guys know that they did a live action Full Metal Alchemist on Netflix?
No, I had not heard of a live action Full Metal Alchemist.
I'm looking at it right now. It's got 93 per. Well, no, that's a 93% match. That's not a.
Ooh. That hair.
Yeah.
I could have done without that hair.
Yeah. Well, I guess I know what I'm watching tonight after the podcast.
I mean, I'm okay with everybody else, but boy, that hair. Let's try to get it a little bit more of a natural color there.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just showed Winry in it, and she's not even blonde, but they decided to make Ed blonde.
He's not even really blonde per se. It's one of those non-natural blondes.
Yeah.
This is your bottle blonde.
Interesting though.
I like the casting, other than the hair. That's my issue.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, even the suit of armor looks really, really good.
I mean, you can't screw that up.
Well, it depends on how bad it's CGI you are and what your budget is, but this is Netflix we're talking about.
True. I'm gonna have to watch that now.
Yeah, it came out last year apparently.
All right, I'm down for that. The casting looks really good. So, in other news, because it's news segment now, because that's the way I roll. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is the Switch's best pre-selling game ever.
Not a surprise.
Yeah.
Which, if you consider, if you look at the history of Smash Brother games when it comes to consoles across the years, Smash Brothers is always in the top 3 selling of each of those consoles for a top selling game. It's either
I believe that.
It legitimately is either 1, 2, or 3. Nintendo put out information on this regarding regarding it back 4 or 5 months ago, I think. I think TJ and I were discussing it. So there you have it. It's not even out yet. It's literally a couple of days away. I think what is it? December 2nd.
So day after tomorrow.
Yeah, Sunday.
December
Sunday.
7th. I'm sorry, December 7th.
So
next
Next
Friday.
Saturday.
No, that would be next Friday.
Next Friday. Next Friday it will be released. It's coming. And also, Nintendo understands you want Waluigi in Super Smash Brothers. Shut up.
That's it?
More or
Not-
less.
We're
More
gonna
or
ask
less.
them, it's just,
More or
we
less.
hear you, shut up.
Pretty much.
Well,
That's
you know
what it
what it
boils
means?
down to.
They're gonna make him a DLC character. Is what they'll do.
Right. They're after PD, the Piranha Plant, is going to be a free DLC character. Nintendo announced it's already got plans for 5 more fighters that's going to come along in DLC. Oh boy. They'll probably throw out some more sword guys and maybe Waluigi. But Nintendo has heard, and they are I guess they're kind of tired of hearing about it. So,
You know
There
the
you
easy
go.
fix if you're tired of hearing about it, right?
oh yeah, that's probably why they're going to put them in the game.
Well, can do something about it.
So when are they going to add Bowsette into the game?
Fuck
Ugh.
you. Let's not go the Bowsette route. I so hate the whole Bowsette thing. I so hate it so much. I can't wait until the game comes out, so we can get past the Super Crown. And I think it's releases this month.
Well, I for one am excited for the Waluigi at fan art out there once they add him into the game.
No, I liked his when he put the super crown on, because when he put it on, nothing changed because he was already a pretty princess.
Oh,
I
or would he be Walla?
no. Super
Let's
Mario
go, News.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe comes out January 11th. I'm sorry. And that's all the news that I had. It's kind of short because there's not a whole lot coming out because it's already out for the holiday. So outside of that,
I don't know a lot about this particular news story. I've just heard it in passing. So I'm sure there's more to it than what I'm going to explain.
okay.
But Bethesda has made a lot of mistakes with Fallout 76.
One could say that, yes.
Referring back specifically to some of the stuff that was referenced previously by, I think, Daniel and TJ.
Yes.
Um,
They've done a terrible job at controlling their nuclear crap, for one thing.
In addition to all of those problems, they had sold a $200+ collector's edition.
Oh boy.
And
Does that one come with a helmet?
This is the one that comes with the helmet.
Ooh.
And the helmet was advertised. You got the game in the collector's box, and you got the helmet, which came in a nice looking canvas bag, and all that cool looking stuff. But people started receiving their $200 collector's edition versions, and they got a bag with a helmet in it. But the bag itself was cheap, crap nylon, not high quality canvas with like screen printed logos. It was like nylon with an iron on. And so a bunch of people were reaching out to Bethesda that was like, hey, look, here's a screenshot of the $200 collector's edition that clearly shows a canvas bag. And underneath the bag, it says 100% canvas. And we paid for that, and you shipped me this crappy nylon piece of trash. What are you going to do about this? And one of the Bethesda responses was nothing. One of them said, we found that the canvas bags were a little too expensive to mass produce, so we decided to replace it with a nylon bag instead. And after a bunch of outcry, Bethesda decided, you know what? We need to make this right. So they notified people and said, if you can provide proof purchase of the $200 collector's edition, we will give you 500 atoms in the game, which is an in-game currency.
All right.
Do you know what 500 atoms can buy you in the game?
Nothing.
A wooden door and a small packet of flowers. There's a skin in the game with a character that carries a canvas bag. That character skin costs 700 atoms. So they didn't even give you enough atoms to buy a skin that had a canvas bag.
I wish they would have made an item for a tiny violin where your character could play a tiny violin for 500 atoms.
And needless to say, people are quite upset about this.
Oh, of course.
I would be if I was in that position. If I spent $200 on a high-end collector's edition because I wanted to support my publisher, and they cheaped me out by saving $5 to send me a nylon bag instead of a canvas bag, I would be really upset. So while I understand the business move behind why Bethesda did it, I don't agree with it. I think it was a horrible move because, I mean, in today's day and age, with the internet and Twitter and all that stuff, you cannot dick your clients over like this, because word will spread like wildfire, and even people that didn't buy the collector's edition are going to be really pissed off.
Oh yeah, it's bad PR, and this is going to now become a case of how long can Bethesda survive the PR campaign against them. Are they going to sit there and just plug their ears and hope that eventually everybody shuts up? Or are they actually going to have to step up and do even more so than what they are minimally even attempting to do with their in-game currency BS?
I hate to say this, because this is looking at it from a business perspective, not from a consumer perspective. From a business perspective, the smart move for Bethesda to do would be to pull a what was the space game that everybody was obsessed with that was supposed to have multiplayer and didn't for like 2 years?
No Man's Sky.
There you go. They need to pull a No Man's Sky and just completely stop talking about Fallout. If people want to play it, let them play it. Release patches to fix bugs and just keep your mouth shut and just accept what you got yourself into and just leave it alone. Let it die its slow, inevitable death and move on so that you don't end up ruining the company name and butchering, the next Elder Scrolls that they're going to have to produce.
Pray for the next Elder Scrolls.
That's the only thing. Just suck it up and keep your mouth shut and hope people forget about it. And it's from a consumer point of view, that's definitely the wrong thing to do. But from a business point of view, that's the smartest thing.
Yeah.
Because eventually people will forget and they'll move on. And then you can just bring out Elder Scrolls 6 and people will lose their freaking mind about it and just learn from your mistakes. And don't make Elder Scrolls online.
Well, I've already made that.
Well, you know what I mean, though. Don't make Elder Scrolls 6 have online capabilities. Yeah.
I was actually talking to a buddy earlier today who was streaming Skyrim, and he was talking about how Skyrim was so nostalgic for him because that's a game that he got into playing and just spent a lot of time invested in when he was in high school. And I told him that my first introduction to the Elder Scroll series was Morrowind, and so that one always holds a special place in my heart, even though it doesn't look that good or play as well as the current generations do. But he expressed his great concern with Elder Scrolls 6 because of this Fallout incident. This Fallout. He said that they've just messed up so much that all he can hope is that they learn from their mistakes and decide, to do better with Elder Scrolls 6.
Here's an idea. This may be a little bit of a novel idea, but I'll go down this rabbit hole. How about we stop with the $200 frickin' special edition bullshit? I'm just saying. It doesn't need to, you don't need that. No. Because you're going to fuck it up.
I'm fine with the standard edition and having maybe an $80 collector's edition that comes with DLC already. You know how they say like the new version of Odyssey that I bought, I paid more so that when all the DLC comes out, I already get it. I get it for free.
Right.
And I'm fine with that. And then if you want to sell these really kick-ass helmets, or like Assassin's Creed was sending out these really cool statuettes and stuff like that, maybe just create an online store where people can buy just that item.
Yes.
And then you're not making this $200 collector's edition that's connected directly to your game that you can then fuck up. And people will be pissed at the game because the collector's edition was screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you sell it on your store and you end up giving them a crappy version, they'll just go, well, the store sucks. They won't say the game sucks. They'll relate it to the store specifically.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely a worthy suggestion for an option, because I don't think I've seen a successful, massive, super overpriced special edition thing yet.
They all
Not at
try to
all.
skimp really bad. They'll say you're going to get this like really awesome looking statue, and then you get it and it's like flimsy plastic,
Yeah.
and you're like, this is not what was advertised. It looked like it was ceramic or metal or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and you get it and it's what is it, form molded plastic, and you're just like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
This thing cost them like $3 to produce, and I spent an extra $120 to buy it.
Well, speaking of limited edition things, if we're done with this part of the news,
I'm a limited edition thing.
yeah, you are. Uh, I don't know if it was advertised because I never saw this advertised anywhere, but apparently, I guess Wizards of the Coast decided to release a brick and mortar only, like you could only get it at a brick and mortar store, limited edition versions of the Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, and Dungeon Master's Guide.
Oh my god, I saw this the other day.
I saw it last night on Critical Role because Matthew Mercer picked them up and he showed us the Player's Handbook and it just looked gorgeous. And you can only get it at like hobby stores. Apparently, it's the only place that you can go to buy them. People are now selling them on like eBay, and some hobby stores are, selling them from their store if you pay shipping online. But you can only get them from hobby stores. Like it's not supposedly it's not available on Amazon. Let me just double check that real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't see it on Amazon at all. But the artwork looks amazing. Like the Player's Handbook it's themed red. So it's this grizzled looking man with a full beard and like a demon skull on his head as a helmet with super long horns that like come back and curl. The Monster Manual is a beholder just snarling. And then the Dungeon Master's Guide is the same lich that's on the normal cover, but it looks kind of like a jester's head almost. Just basically like superimposed and beautifully done art, very elegant looking. And I'm very tempted to go in store and drop $150 on these books.
Oh, I would love to. The bad thing is I would probably go to my local game shop, which it's massive, and I'm talking massive. They probably would not have any in stock.
Probably not.
They've probably already sold out of all this.
There's at least 2 comic book stores near me, game stores near me that I could probably check out. But I don't know if they would have it, so then I'd have to go to the next town over where I go to college and check those game stores.
I found it on Amazon.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. $142.95 plus with free shipping
for all 3.
Yes, all 3.
$142 for all 3 is not bad.
No, not at all.
Where is it? I can't find it. Oh wait, there it is.
Yep.
Just scrolled past it. Yeah. $142.95 for all 3. How much is my bank account? I have been meaning to pick up the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Monsters Manual for a long time, and I've got the PDF versions, and I've got the PDF versions, and so like I'll just use that, and I'll use like D&D Beyond, and I'll just look up stuff. Like it's fine, but this comes with a Dungeon Master screen, and it comes with a nice case too, along with 3 hardcover books that have beautiful looking artwork on it.
Yeah, that is really nice. I would consider getting it myself, but I already own the Dungeon Master's Guide and a Player's Handbook. I don't have a Monsters Manual yet, but then again, I also own everything on D&D Beyond now, so oh well.
As I could totally get that. Oh, oh.
We now have conflict.
Oh, it's limited. That's why I really want it.
Roll
Hey,
roll a d20.
what do I decide on?
Anything
Win.
over anything 11 to 20 is get.
Ooh.
All right. Should it just be any D20 or should I have you guys choose the D20?
I think you should choose it.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Let's see if Cody's gonna get himself some D&D books. I'm half tempted myself.
Like, there's part of me that wants to say, even if I don't make it over 11, that I'm just gonna end up picking
Well,
it
no,
up anyway.
what I mean is if you get over 11, you're going to get it. If
Yeah.
you get under 11, well then.
You don't. And you
How many
abide by
times
the
you gonna
die.
roll?
He's rolling his die to see which one is going to be the best die to roll.
So, these are all my D20. And I don't know which one to use.
Use the gray
Use the-
one.
I was just going to say use the gray one.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
This one's actually my best roller.
All right, he's going to hate us now.
As a sidebar, the one of the friends that I had join in, they decided to roll their stats, and my one friend, she grabbed this set, and she has the best stats out of anyone right now.
Roll it.
I really wish that were a natural 20 because that would be amazing. However,
Is it cock?
Nope. It is
Okay.
a
Oh,
16.
16.
it was a 16.
All right.
So I guess you got to get it.
You got to buy it.
And it's on Amazon, which makes it so much easier. And it's Prime. Oh my god, I could get it. It'll be here like Sunday.
It's Prime? Oh, you found one that's Prime?
Yeah, the one that I linked is Prime. Dungeons and Dragons RPG core rulebook gift set limited edition alternate covers.
Well, let me just take a look at that right quick.
Oh
By
my
Wizards
God.
of the Coast.
I have another news story while we're at it.
Okay.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Federal Trade Commission is actively starting a committee to look into loot box banning in video games. Specifically loot boxes that can be purchased for money, like loot boxes in Overwatch that you can get for just finishing matches. They obviously won't be affected because it doesn't cost money to get those. But yes, there's a bunch of other countries that have already said it is gambling. So it falls under gambling guidelines where you have to have age verification, or in some situations it's completely banned, and they can tax. The government can specifically tax the revenue based specifically off of the gambling, not just the video game, or in addition to the video game, I mean. So, because apparently reports are starting to show that solely loot boxes by 2020 are going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry just on loot boxes.
Woo!
Wow.
Holy smokes.
So if the current trend continues, obviously. So they're like, yeah, we're going to need to either A, put a stop to this if it's actually illegal, or B, we're going to start taxing them for this because that's additional gambling-based revenue that is not being taxed. So that's going to be interesting.
I think that's probably a good thing because, once upon a time, loot boxes were pretty innocent. It was like, here, get some neat stuff, it like random rewards instead of it being what it is now, where like people in CSGO are able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars by just trading crates and skins.
Mm-hmm. The problem really came in. It wasn't really a big deal when it was like cosmetics.
Yeah.
That was not, and that's the thing. That's the difference here as well. Is you have to keep in mind that what the government is looking into is whether or not loot crates are gambling, and that has nothing to do with whether or not the loot crates contain cosmetic items or if they contain game-changing things like a boost to your damage output. Whereas gamers really have a problem with the boost stuff or the things that you have to unlock in the game, like a gun that you have to unlock. that will cost a ton of money or a ton of playtime, or you could just spend $20 and get it right now. And gamers are more upset with the fact that people seem to have an advantage because they're paying money to get these things early.
Right, like pay to win games.
Yeah, exactly. While the government is more concerned about, we don't care whether it makes the game easy to win or not. We just care if you're making a shitload of gambling, quote unquote, gambling money off of this, because then we want our cut.
I don't remember if I paid my bills this month. Hold on.
He's still struggling with the purchase of the book.
Look, the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Monster Manual are generally like $50 at most hobby stores.
Yes.
And the fact that I could get the 3 of them for under $50 a piece, again, and limited edition, almost makes it worth it to me. Even though they're like $25 on Amazon usually.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. I was going to buy it, and then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to put it on my wish list, and maybe one day in the future, if they happen to be still around, I'll get one. If not,
I haven't
well.
paid my bills.
You haven't paid your bills?
I have.
Oh, someone's going to spend some money.
Cody, you did roll a 16.
That is true. You have to follow the dice.
Did you add your wisdom modifier? I can't read it.
Getting those books at game stores anywhere $150. I definitely think it's worth it.
You got girlfriend approval.
Girlfriend approval. Girlfriend approval is yes with a 16, and Cody is his wisdom modifier was terrible if I remember.
Oh, he's a monk.
Yeah, he's a turtle monk.
It's probably like +1 or 0.
My wisdom modifier is my second best at. And I think it's either a +1 or a +2.
Let's see.
Because wisdom is my DC for everything.
You got girlfriend approval, dude.
Also, it's it's not in stock until December 7th.
Yep.
But
you can pre-order.
I can pre-order it. And I'm expecting a bunch of different gifts to be coming around soon. I'm still waiting on Strongholds and Followers book, which they're waiting on final print approval. And I ordered some dice from Elder Dice.
Look at this D&D guy right here, buying all the things.
And I'm going to be going back to my old job, which pays better.
So, did we have any other news?
I don't think we had any other news. Let's go ahead and just move on to emails.
Yeah, I think that was it for news for me, too.
Now, one could say that this is my favorite section of the podcast. And then that one would be correct. This happens to be my very favorite segment of the podcast. But it is also very difficult to shout at the top of my lungs about email. So I will keep it short and sweet this week because I do not have much of a voice. Oh, well, I mean, y'all could participate and help a friend out who has no voice right now and get some email action going.
Well, everyone, you better hold on to your butts and get ready for some email.
If you have an email that you want read on the VGBit Bitcast, you can send your emails to bitcast@vgbits.com. That's bitcast@vgbits.com. We will read them. Gentlemen, we've got a couple of emails this week from our good buddy Mike. Last time TJ and I put out the question, we want to know, how'd your Thanksgiving weekend go? So Mike sends in with the subject line, email. That is pretty difficult to do for my part right there. Had a pretty normal Thanksgiving weekend. He visited his parents and had dinner and whatnot. Awesome. Normal is good. And then also we got an additional email from Mike with email. Best I could do on that one. That's what it kind of reads. He says, I know this is more of a movie question. We are accepting of all movie and TV questions. But what are your guys' thoughts on all these Disney movies coming out next year? live action Dumbo, Aladdin, and Lion King, and now Artemis Fowl. So, guys, do we have an opinion on all these live action Disney films?
I'm $150 poorer.
Cody is $150 poorer because of the live action Disney films. That means he has bought a lot of tickets.
Tuition may also be due next week.
Okay.
Go ahead, Matt.
I was gonna say, I really like the meme that's the guy that says "change my mind," the
Yeah.
guy sitting at the table.
Yes.
I really liked the version of that said, "The live action Lion King is still animated. Change my mind."
Yep.
Because it is. It's all CGI. And I mean, I'm not saying that they could have used real lions. No, they couldn't have. But still, it feels kind of weird for them to say it's the live action version. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. The Aladdin one, I can totally get being live action. But I haven't seen any trailers for Aladdin. There was the teaser that had the music in it, and that was it. I saw the trailer for Lion King, and it looks good. And I enjoyed the Lion King, but it was for some reason it wasn't one of those movies that changed my life like it is for a lot of people. Like, I hear a lot of people that are like, the Lion King is the best animated movie ever made, and there will never be anything made any better than it. And I was all like, it was good. I enjoyed it. But it wasn't like, it wasn't the be all end all for me that it was for a lot of people. What was the other one? Not Artemis Fowl, but the third one?
There was Dumbo.
Oh, Dumbo. That's what it was. Have they gotten a trailer for that yet?
Yeah, there's one out there.
I haven't seen it.
It is very Tim Burton-esque, if I remember correctly.
Honestly, if someone's going to do Dumbo, a Tim Burton theme on it would work pretty well for that story.
If I remember correctly. Hold on one second. Let me double check. Yeah, it is directed by Tim Burton.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think that would work really well. Him in a Dumbo story, because it would be the whole circus portion of the movie is very weird and creepy, or it was for me when I watched the original animated one. And so I feel like he could do really well with that portion of the story.
For our friends at home, and I know we're kind of curious about me right now, what I'm doing. I am getting beaten to death by hail right now.
Oh. Well, good luck with that.
No wonder you look so haggard.
Well, I happen to take my headphone off and listen, and then I hear thump, 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 and I'm like, there goes my truck. Hooray.
Just wait until you hear the of glass shattering.
Yeah.
Yay.
Hey, do you know who stars in Dumbo?
An elephant, I would assume.
Danny DeVito.
Who's he playing?
Is he the main dude at the circus?
He is the ringmaster.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I could see that. I can see that.
Also stars Michael Keaton, Colin Farrell, and Ava Green.
And who?
Ava Green.
Michael Keaton I could see. Colin Farrell sounds a little odd, but fair enough.
Colin Farrell.
Plus,
well,
they've given Dumbo way two real eyes. His eyes look so realistic. It's terrifying.
I mean, I don't really. I kind of.
Oh.
I forgot what I forgot what I saw the other day. That was some story about how it was a little disappointing when you realize that there are literally thousands of new screenplays being written that most of which are probably terrible, but some of which are probably really great. And these movie studios just don't want to make new movies. They just want to remaster old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I can understand the re-release or the remastering or the all that stuff, but I do kind of agree that there's probably really good movies that aren't getting made and are just being completely ignored because studios aren't really interested in looking for new scripts.
Oh yeah.
And that is disappointing.
Why take a chance when you can rehash something in the past? And then you'll know it works. Sadness. But there you have it. My opinion on this is for Dumbo, I can't wait to see the dream sequence because Tim Burton is fucked up and I want to see what he comes up with for the dream sequence.
Yeah, okay.
That's going to be
that's fair.
amazing because the cartoon, the dream sequence for Dumbo in the cartoon was really good. So I can't wait to see what Tim Burton comes up with.
I haven't seen Dumbo in probably like 25 years, so I don't remember what you're talking about, but fair enough.
Aladdin, I guess I'll be okay with it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if man, it just doesn't feel right without Robin Williams.
That's fair.
I mean, man, who is it that's playing the genie?
Yeah, I was gonna say, who did they get?
Let me see. Who is the genie? I think I'm going to scream. Oh, it's Will Smith.
Will Smith is playing the genie?
Okay.
Nope.
I mean, I like Will Smith, but I don't think that's a good fit.
He's not a genie. I'd rather have Shaq.
Gross.
Hold on. At least Shaq has experience in playing a genie.
God. Who did they get to play Jafar? Because I'm far more interested in who the villain.
Marwan Kenzari?
I'm okay with that. He's a Dutch
Kinda looks
actor.
like Jafar.
Yeah, I can get behind. I'm actually kind of glad that they're using
Middle Eastern?
I was gonna say Arabic actors.
That's probably a better word for it.
Actors from you're right, from the Middle East, so like Egypt, Jordan,
Yeah.
that kind of area.
You mean they're not whitewashing Aladdin?
Oh yeah, see, this guy's Tunisian. Okay. Perfect.
I don't know. I mean, the casting looks great outside of Will Smith.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at some of the promo videos for Mossad as Aladdin, I mean, it works great. He feels like Aladdin. Compare the Disney cartoon and the Disney movie to this. Yep, I see it. Good casting. Hopefully his acting will stand up to the movie. To be determined. Haven't really seen it yet. Outside of that, I would say no to the genie of Will Smith. That's just wrong.
I would like to hold out some hope just because I know that Will Smith could possibly do a good job. I think it is a very weird fit for it. I'm having a hard time imagining his voice as the genie, but I'm willing to hold out some hope because I know that he could do a good job. There's actually a chance that he could do a good job, and I'd rather trust Will Smith, who is a very seasoned actor for this, than someone completely different.
I would rather see possibly Mark Hamill as the genie. Maybe even John Goodman.
Okay.
I could see John Goodman. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Bill Murray?
No.
No? It'd be a little bit of a spin.
In the wrong direction, I feel.
I don't know. And then again, what about Patrick Warburton?
Keep in mind, I don't have problems with any of these actors you've named so far, personally. I don't feel like they fit the role.
Well, I'm thinking maybe they could change. If there's anybody who's going to try and make a different genie who has a personality that could pull something off like that, some of these guys are it. If you want to change the way, if you don't want to do a Robin Williams genie, you need a complete different direction of a genie then. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No,
If,
you're not
if,
wrong.
if I'm understanding you right, I agree. You're not wrong. Like it it would be hard to encapsulate Robin Williams' personality that he gave and breathed into the life of Genie with anyone else.
I think you would want someone who has about as big as personality as Robin Williams for that role. I don't think Will Smith has that personality. I think there are other people out there that would be.
He'd have to be really over the top. Like, I don't mean over the top like wacky, crazy, zany. I think his energy would have to be a lot higher than it normally, because his energy has always kind of been kind of a laid back, chill kind of dude.
Yeah. Maybe a young Jim Carrey.
No.
I said young, not old.
I think he would have the energy, but I don't think the voice or the
Well, okay, maybe the voice would be a little.
right.
I think with Jim Carrey, you're getting too close to a Robin Williams attempt. Because the young Jim Carrey had that zany, wacky energy that Robin Williams did.
Okay, so then we'd file that under if you want to go that same direction then. If you wanted that same Robin Williams-esque feel.
Yeah.
If you
did, that would not be a bad choice. That would be a half decent.
I really, really would like to see a Patrick Warburton genie.
See who?
Patrick Warburton. That calm, that collected, Patrick Warburton. He also voiced
Kronk.
Kronk from Emperor's New Groove.
He also plays Lemony Snicket in the Lemony Snicket series.
That level from Patrick Warburton, I think, would make a very interesting genie.
If you wanted to go a completely different route from a Robin Williams, I think somebody who also might have worked would be Patton Oswalt.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
I don't think I would be able to get past Patrick Warburton's cadence as Genie.
His deep cadence, his deep, slow cadence.
Yeah, his very like Shatner like type enunciation that he does.
I kind of like that personally, but that's
like I like him and I love him as an actor, and he was great as Kronk. When I saw him in Lemony Snicket, I was ecstatic. But I just, I don't. Maybe it's just because of the biased thought behind what Genie was, and it'd be hard to see it go in a different direction. I think he could do a good Genie, but I just feel like the cadence is a little bit different. I don't know if I could fall with it.
Now that I think about it, I think Will Smith is a good choice for getting a good voice actor to do a different kind of Genie. Like he's different enough but he's done some animated voice acting before, so he can do like high energy voice acting.
I don't know.
I'll hold off my final opinion until I see some footage with Genie talk.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I will reserve full judgment. Currently, opinion is I don't like the casting of Will Smith as Genie. Oh, let me put out the sign in front of the table. Change my mind. So there you go. We'll see if it happens. Moving on from Aladdin.
I'll say cautiously optimistic.
Let's do Lion King.
I real quick did want to say I almost wish that they had gone into the voice acting community for those people who either do impersonations or just other voice actors than a mainstream actor. Because like Will Smith is a big name. And though I think he could do a good job, I almost kind of wish
It's why they chose him for the role, because you have all these native Arabic actors that are filling all the other roles that, let's be honest, the average white person in America has no earthly idea who any of these people are. So they needed a big name on the poster that people are going to be familiar with. So they're going to have all these Arabic names, and then they're going to have Will Smith. And that's the only name in the casting right now that the average American is going to recognize.
I would just hate to see them try to play that card with such an iconic movie and with Will Smith. Like,
Well,
I can see him doing a good job.
It's
and
it's
this is the
same,
whole Detective Pikachu thing.
I was about to say, I was like, well, if you want a big name, why not just go Ryan Reynolds in?
Ryan Reynolds could make a good genie.
No.
I was actually thinking about it.
I'd be interested to hear a voice sample. Very interested.
Ryan Reynolds is one of those actors though that when he does voiceovers, he doesn't do voices.
He does his voice.
He does his.
That's fair.
I know that's why I'd be interested in hearing Ryan Reynolds try to be Genie. Just for a sample. I'd be curious for a sample.
I'd love to see an H. John Benjamin Genie.
Who?
Archer and Bob from Bob's Burgers.
Oh. Okay. I could see that.
Yeah. Because he's got, but his would be really slow. Because he doesn't talk. He doesn't have a super high energy mode.
Well,
but he's also one of those voice actors that he doesn't do voices. It's just his voice.
That's true.
Because his voice is so damn good.
Well, I suppose we can wait before we move on. Who did they get for Iago? Did they get the same guy who did Iago before, or are they getting someone completely new?
I've already moved on. Hold on one second.
Oh, Iago was wasn't that the Affleck guy?
Oh gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
I'm just gonna check the Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, that was his name.
Yeah, they didn't get
for
him.
the live action. I don't see. Boy, he's way down on the list, I guess.
I'm almost sad that they didn't take advantage of the CGI characters to get those original voice actors for the role. Like, I think it's great that they're giving other people opportunities, but at the same time,
I know why they're doing it.
Well, for one thing, Gilbert Gottfried is incredibly offensive.
That's fair.
So
He's had some bad business decisions recently.
Oh, has he?
In things he's said publicly that gave him a bad name, and now a lot of people are trying to avoid working with him because they don't want to attach his name to their work.
That's fair.
Kind of disappointing.
Wait, I don't even see Iago
Iago's not even listed.
Hold on. Despite initial reports, the animal characters Abu the monkey and Iago and Raja the tiger from the original film will be appearing in some capacity. So they're probably just going to be animals in the background and not actually voiced characters.
Oh,
Interesting.
Sadness.
I mean, Abu the monkey and Raja the tiger never had any voice lines anyway, but
Iago did.
Iago had a lot. But he was mainly just a comic relief.
True.
Let's be honest. So it's easy enough to remove that character if you can make Genie and Aladdin both be pretty good comic reliefs.
That's fair. All right. So Lion King?
All right. So Lion King. Here is an absolute must. James Earl Jones as Mufasa.
I think that's the only guy that they got back.
Yes, it was.
And that had to happen. Let's be honest.
True.
Yeah.
You can't not have James Earl Jones.
I am kind of disappointed they didn't get Whoopi Goldberg back for one of the hyenas, though.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah.
That would have been doable, though, because let's be honest, she's on The View, but she's not getting much work other than that.
So here are your two characters that people watch the original Lion King animated series for, Timon and Pumbaa.
That's what I was looking at.
Timon is Billy Eichner, and
Okay.
Pumbaa is Seth Rogen.
Yeah, all right.
I just
I like Billy Eichner, and I like Seth Rogen.
I don't know. I
I
really
almost would
like.
have liked to have seen Kronk as Pumbaa.
I like Nathan Lane.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad. I would have loved to have seen Nathan Lane. But John Oliver is Zazu. Beyonce is Nala. Eric Andre is Azizi.
Who's playing Simba?
Simba
boy?
is played by Donald Glover.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good fit, actually. I feel like that's good. I love Donald Glover. As an actor, his music's okay. I'm not really into it, but his acting's amazing.
Oh boy. The guy
Yeah,
that they have playing Scar. I can never pronounce his first name.
Hold on, what's his name? Let me look it up.
It looks like, you want me to say it?
Well, I'm pretty sure I can pronounce it. I'm pretty good with names.
Go for it.
Okay.
I can pronounce his last name, but his first name is. Here we go.
Oh, is it Chiwetel Ejiofor?
Yeah.
Is that who it is? Chiwetel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I looked up Scar and it just listed like 4 different characters that had played him, and I was all like, crap, which actor is doing the new one?
But the question is, how is his name actually pronounced? Because to us, it's Chiwetel Ejiofor, or Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Chiwetel.
I think it's Chiwetel.
It is Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Ejiofor.
Yes. But
Yeah, he's a really good actor too.
I am okay with that for Scar. I saw him on The Martian, so
Yeah, dude. That's why I really got into like Donald Glover for serious acting. Donald Glover did great in The Martian too.
Donald Glover was in The Martian?
Yeah.
I need to watch that movie again. I don't remember him in The Martian at all.
Yeah, he was what was his character's name?
Rich Purnell.
Rich Parnell, that's right. Rich Parnell is a steely-eyed missile man.
Yeah, I don't have any qualms over the cast for The Lion King.
Timon and Pumbaa, I want to hear voice lines. I gotta wait.
Timon and Pumbaa was definitely the only one that I was a little worried about, but that's just because out of anything I ever knew about Lion King, Timon and Pumbaa was really the only ones that I cared about. Growing up, I did not like any Disney movies because they were all musicals, and I hated musicals as a kid.
Yes.
I just could not stand them. Now that I'm older, I appreciate them and I can enjoy them. But like I saw The Greatest Showman over Thanksgiving. That was a very good movie.
It may be a very good movie, but I just cannot get over the fact I can't get over musicals.
Yeah.
Just way too much singing.
But yeah, Timon and Pumbaa were, I watched the cartoon that they made, just the Timon and Pumbaa cartoon, and that is what I knew it as was.
Mm-hmm.
Timon and Pumbaa. So they're the only characters I have real attachment for. We'll see how Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner do with that.
So there you have it. The next one is Artemis Fowl, and I've got to admit, I have no idea what Artemis Fowl is.
So Artemis Fowl, as a quick synopsis, just based off of my own experience, it is a book series. It was a very good book series. I don't know how many books long it was, but basically, it's about a kid who is a criminal mastermind, and he's rich. He's got his own bodyguard, and he somehow comes across and discovers like mythical creatures such as fairies and elves and dwarves and stuff like that coexisting in the world. And he, in one of the books, he ends up either befriending or kidnapping one of these agents, and the story ensues, hijinks ensue. So like the description for this one is Artemis Fowl II, a young Irish criminal mastermind, kidnaps the fairy Leprechaun, Leprechaun officer Holly Short for a ransom to fund the search for his missing father in order to restore the family fortune. So, and I remember reading the books. They were really good. The one book has stuck in my mind. I don't know if it's more of a children's series or like a young adult series or an adult series, because I read all mix of those as a child. But the books were interesting.
Okay. Then I will reserve judgment until I can see more trailers and more information, because I have nothing to base anything off of on Artemis Fowl.
Same.
Yeah. The only thing that I don't remember is, and honestly have no issue with, his bodyguard, his name is Butler. I could have sworn he was like a big white dude with like a bald head, but in the movie they have a black guy with hair. No qualms with it. He's still a big guy. He looks like he'll play a great bodyguard for him, but that was just how I remember always picturing him. Is like, think Lilo and Stitch, the child protective services guy.
Yeah, the FBI guy that shows up. Yeah.
That was basically how I pictured Butler, except white. And so not how I pictured it, but if they're taking a creative liberty, or if maybe he actually was black and did have hair and I just imagined it wrong as a kid, whatever. I'm excited to see them bring it to action, though.
Okay. Well,
and the girl they have playing the Leprechaun officer, Captain Holly Short, good fit. Her face looks kind of like a fairy or an elf.
All right.
So, there you go.
Well, I guess that's going to be it for the Bitcast this week. Question for people out there, or if people have a question for us. Who is your favorite, or who would you like to see as Genie in the new live action Aladdin?
Not gonna let that one go, huh?
Nope. Nope. Who would you like to see as a live action Genie? There's tons of options out there. You can go the Robin Williams road or somebody else. Who did we forget to mention that you absolutely love to see? So let us know in the email address, bitcast@vgbits.com. We'll read it. But that's going to do it for this week for episode 47 of the VGBit Bitcast. It's November 30th. And gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this week.
Happy to be here.
For having us.
And as always, thank you all for tuning in and watching the podcast. We will be back next week for episode 48. But until then, goodbye, everyone.
Take care.